Now, this one, we talked about recently that the Marvel Netflix stuff was coming to Disney Plus in Canada. Well, now it's coming stateside as parental controls and the Marvel Netflix stuff is coming to Disney Plus with like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and everything else. I do find it funny though that when Disney announced it, they're just like, "Oh, these shows coming to Disney Plus." They never mentioned Iron Fist. I'm going, so you do listen to people, because I don't think anybody's excited about Iron Fist coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
To me, this is a much bigger deal than just the Marvel Netflix character showing up on Disney Plus. This is a much bigger thing. It's like when Disney bought Fox. Everyone was like, cool, the X-Men can join the MCU. I'm like, that's an added bonus, but that's not the real reason it's happening. It's the exact same thing here. It's an added bonus that we're getting the Marvel Netflix stuff on Disney Plus, but it's not the real reason. It's Disney Plus has stagnated in their numbers. Like they boomed right out of the gate and got a lot of subscribers. It's tailed off and it has not looked good on stock, which is why they've also talked about they're going to introduce an ad-supported version of Disney Plus, so you can pay a cheaper version with no ads. I'm going, Disney Plus is already $8 a month. How are you going to get cheaper than that? You're going to have like a $5 one with ads? Because $8 is honestly still really not that much for how much content Disney Plus has. Granted, they could do more new content. But the bigger factor here is Disney Plus is finally going to start putting adult content on Disney Plus, which is why they're putting the parental controls in, which this comes back to they're getting to a point where they're stagnating on subscriber numbers, so they need to have everything migrate to one location. I get what Disney's was thinking of. We're going to be a family-friendly platform that's safe for the kids. I get that, but if you want to stay competitive with the other streaming services, whether it be HBO Max, Peacock, Netflix, those are the only real competition right now for them, then you need to have stuff that's more than just for the family and for kids and teenagers. You need strictly adult content. Like HBO Max has the inverse problem. They've got a lot of adult-oriented content, but they still at least have some kids stuff. Netflix has some kid stuff and some family stuff. They have the whole package, and I think you've got to broaden your reach as much as humanly possible if you're Disney Plus. And this is where we bring it back around. This is why they bought Fox. Fox stuff is coming to Disney Plus because, again, this part is just me speculating, but there have been reports for a while now that Comcast and Universal are going to pull their stake out of Hulu and invest their content back into Peacock, which is probably the right move, which would make Disney the sole purveyor of Hulu. And if that happens, Hulu's done. I'd move everything Hulu to Disney Plus, make it a mega app, because I've said before, we've got a mega app coming with the Discovery Warner merger and whatever app that ends up happening. So Disney will probably, in response, merge Hulu and Disney Plus, which honestly gets me excited, because while Hulu has some good content, I would not miss Hulu if its content went somewhere else. I've never liked Hulu's interface. I've never liked that they're just like, y'all content with HD? I'm going, but why? Because if I know something's going to Disney Plus that's a newer project, I know what I'm getting. I will get 4K. I will get the best audio platform that it's currently available on, whether it's Surround or Atmos or whatever else. Disney Plus puts that best foot forward when it comes to the audio and visual department. Like West Side Story just came out on both HBO Max and Disney Plus, which is super bizarre. I will absolutely be watching on Disney Plus because Disney Plus has the premium formats of the 4K, Dolby Atmos, whatever else, and HBO Max is going, y'all like HD that's kind of blurry? That might only be 720, not even 1080. But if it moves to Hulu, we can get things like Alien and Predator in 4K, maybe Terminator in 4K, all those Fox properties move over to Disney Plus with much better formats. Also, I feel like the Fox stuff hasn't even made it to Hulu yet, at least in bulk. Like, Hulu's selection is so scattered and random.
Yeah,
Like,
it's so weird. Like, because there's some stuff that's on, and then stuff that you'd expect to be on there is not. I mean, I say that knowing that HBO Max has two of the three Bourne movies, and then
yeah,
it has Legacy, and be like, and literally has it as like the Bourne collection, but it's two out of three plus that one that Jeremy Renner did. So that's
which,
a
I
little
mean,
weird.
credit to Paramount Plus. This is why they said in 2024, all our Paramount movies will be here because they planned it far enough out that they're going to let all
Yeah.
those contracts expire that we don't have something like this. Do you see a future for Hulu, or do you see everything coming to Disney Plus? And if so, do you think that's a smart idea to have adult content on Disney Plus?
I mean, yeah, like you said, they're gonna have to do something here to keep adults coming and you like being used outside of like I don't know the Marvel shows and the Star Wars shows. I've had no reason really to get on Disney, so it's definitely gonna help to have just more adult content. It's definitely interesting that to me, I think it's more interesting that this is a Netflix produced show
Yeah.
that's being put on Disney. So to me, there's no way that Netflix is not getting like some cash out of this, and I wouldn't be surprised if they made it beneficial for them. What's going to be hilarious is, excuse me, is if they keep Iron Fist up on Netflix and it's just like by
It's
itself.
the only show. It's the one that no one wanted. It's like how
Oh,
those all
dude.
those like lower tier Disney movies like Old Dogs or
Hmm.
Snow Dogs are always on other streaming services because Disney's going, yeah, we're in no rush to get those back. You can keep that. Like,
Yeah.
y'all can keep your Home on the Range for a little bit. We'll let you have that one. We don't need that one back. Like, Netflix is going, yo, we still have Iron Fist. And you're proud of that. Now,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
interesting question will be that I've already seen people raise, and it is one to consider, is on Disney Plus in the Marvel tab, which I love the tab that they've got. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They've got subcategories within that tab. They've got like MCU, Phase 1, Phase 2, whatever else. But then it has Marvel Legacy, which is where the old Fantastic Four stuff, the old X-Men stuff, the stuff that they got from Fox, the stuff that's not currently connected to the MCU. We'll see about that in a few months. But not currently connected to the MCU. Will these shows go under that Marvel Legacy banner? Or will it go under the proper Marvel Cinematic banner? There's a 90% chance that it goes under Marvel Legacy. But with Charlie Cox's Daredevil being in Spider-Man No Way Home and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin being in Hawkeye, there's a chance that it's been in the MCU. But at the same time, they're probably variants. I know that people will be like, yeah, it's the same version. I'm like, is it though? Because
See,
Kingpin kind of got taken out like a fool in Hawkeye.
yeah, like it becomes more obvious the more you rewatch Daredevil that they have to be variants, especially with Kingpin because and I rewatched it with my dad recently, um, and he was like, "Yeah, like if this was the version, could you imagine if that was the version that we got?" Bro was like straight up taking people's heads and shoving it through walls. Like that's not the Kingpin we got, uh, and I think that's why to me at least, I was very like, "Man, this is stupid. Like he's here, but he's not here." Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I have seen, and I don't know about you, I like to, for some stupid reason, look at Facebook comments and stuff like that whenever there's like this kind of article posted from reputable sources, just to kind of see what people are saying and what kind of the general populace is kind of thinking. And but a lot of people are excited, but there have been quite a few people that are like, but this is a family app. Why are these shows? How are these shows going to be
That's what
survive
parental
on
controls are
this app?
for.
I mean, there's that, but also like, so you're letting your children watch Mandalorian, like Why? Like, that's, you can't do that.
It's no
I
different
don't
than
know.
if you just set your kid in front of a TV with the remote in front of them at watching Disney Channel, saying it's on Disney Channel. That means it's okay. Like, the kid's still gonna reach for the remote.
This,
You have
yeah,
controls at your disposal that let them not watch the stuff. That's what parental controls are for. You could set it to whatever. I think this is something they should have done a while ago.
yeah, absolutely.
Just think it's kind of bizarre that you can get, like, depending on what Fox stuff they get, it'd be like, all right, on this app you've got The Lion King, The Mandalorian, Avengers, Wolf of Wall Street. Like, just make sure you have your parental
It's
controls
such
on, parents.
it's such a weird app now. Like,
I don't know
and
if
I'm
that's a
okay with
Fox
it.
movie, but imagine.
Like,
Gee.
yeah, yeah. Like, all the weird stuff that happens in the X-Men movies, we're okay with that. But once you bring I mean, and to be fair, these shows are incredibly violent. So yes, please have your parental controls on.
Yes, the
Oh my
door.
gosh.
The door with
Yes.
Kingpin.
Oh, the prison sequence with Punisher in
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil season 2.